Before we get into chopping it up, we must emphasize to our listeners and our viewers, our fans, if you've been really rocking with us, make sure you get your vote in for our show, All Things Covered. This is the last week to vote. All Things Covered has been nominated in 2 categories for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. We haven't even turned 1 yet. We're not even 1 yet, meaning being in existence for 1 full year, but we're getting recognized, to say the least, and we're not going to give up. We're not going to get complacent. We're going to continue to give you guys quality content to enjoy and to talk about. But most importantly, vote first for us. We need your help to get us to the final round. It only takes less than 60 seconds, probably 40, probably 45, depending on how good your hand-eye coordination is. To nominate All Things Covered, go to podcastawards.com/app/sign up, and then scroll down to vote for us in the best sports podcast category and the best Black hosted podcast category. Like I said, if you're really rocking with us, or if you're rocking with us 40 to 50%, we take that as well. Most importantly, go vote for us. Do it right now. Don't wait. This is the last week. Do it right now. And we will. And I remember I said on a few shows ago, Pat P will, if we win one of these categories, one, not both, one, Pat P, what you gonna give to a fan that we choose randomly?
You know, Mac, I'm gonna add something on to that. I know we said I'm gonna sign a jersey.
Yep.
But I'm gonna give away 2 tickets to 2 home Vikings games.
Oh, that's big time.
Yeah.
That 2 home Viking games?
And I'm gonna make sure one of them prime time.
Ooh, it's going to be a night game? You got 4?
I think we got 3
games?
3 or 4. Yeah.
Ooh, come on.
So go vote.
Go vote. We've included the link at the top of the description as well. Voting ends July 31st, and you have an extra incentive to vote because Pat P said not only would you get a signed jersey, authentic, not a soft number jersey where you can just kind of ball up. You get that sew-in jersey number, authentic, and you get 2 home tickets.
Hey, Matt. What else I'm going to do to make this experience that much better?
He's still adding to the pile. Okay, what else you got?
You know, at the last place I played at, they wouldn't allow people on the sideline, but in Minnesota, we got all type of access to the sideline before the game.
Oh, so you mean to tell me a random fan can be on the sideline as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the sideline before the game as well.
So doing pregame warm up, they stand on the sideline taking good pictures, HD style, close up style.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Go vote.
Go vote. You get a jersey, 2 home tickets, and sideline access during pregame warm-up. Mm-hmm. Name me another podcast that's doing that. Name it.
Hey, it's on us.
It's only one. All Things Covered. Go vote. First quarter of our show. It's time to chop it up. But make sure you guys stay with us through the first quarter and the second quarter, because after halftime, man, the hottest player in college football will be joining us. You heard the intro. Coming from LSU. Rocking that number 7, Derek Stingley Jr. will be joining us after halftime, so make sure you stay tuned. But before we get to halftime, we got to take care of business in the first quarter. Here's where we chop it up. Man, listen, NFL camps are starting. The Cowboys, the Steelers started last week. We got a handful of teams starting right now. I mean, before you know it, all 32 teams will be in camp. But with that being said, there's more information coming out with vaccines. Vaccinated players that are not getting vaccinated. The NFL sent out a memo last Thursday with new COVID-related policies for 2021. I mean, there are a lot of different policies that are already in place, but make sure you guys pay attention to what is now starting to develop with vaccinated players compared to non-vaccinated players. I mean, forfeits could happen. Remember last year, there were no forfeits. There were postponement of ball games, but games were still played. Now, because they have a vaccine in place, if there is an outbreak for that said team, you just forfeit the ball game. If a game has to be canceled due to a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players, then the team with the outbreak will be forced to forfeit and credited with a loss. The forfeiting team would be also required to pay for all the expenses incurred by their opponent, along with any shortfall in the league's revenue sharing pool. Wow. If a forfeit happens, players won't get paid for that week also. Now, the current status on vaccinations, right? As camp open, 80% of the NFL players have been vaccinated for COVID, with 19 teams above 90%. Reportedly, 2 teams still under the 50% threshold. You have jobs in jeopardy. We saw last week Vikings and O-line coach Rick Dennison in discussions about his future after refusing the vaccine. Reports did come out that they separated, they parted ways, but currently he's still a part of the team. They're just in discussions about what will happen going forward. But the Patriots O-line coach, Cole Popovich, he's no longer with the team due to COVID-19 requirements. Hearing this news, Pat P, and you've been very, very vocal. You said this in June about taking the vaccine. You said, why not put yourself in the best position to possibly win a championship? If you're not vaccinated, you're just living in a different world. Why put yourself at risk of going through that again, based on what you guys went through last year? So hearing some of these stipulations, the different protocols that's in place, and hearing that players are still not getting the vaccine, what are your thoughts?
Only one I don't agree with is them fining players $14,000 for not getting vaccinated. I think that's a little bogus. I think you should still let the player decide if he want to get vaccinated or not. Because at the end of the day, everybody got their different reasons. I mean, I think it's not the right thing. It's a smart thing to do, because you're going to you have a better opportunity of keeping yourself safe. Now we got this new strand out. Hell, I don't even remember. I think it's Delta something.
I thought they were talking about a flight at first.
Exactly. So for me, I think the league should still obviously not. It's not going to happen. But I thought they should have let the players have the liberty to have, to come up with their own decision if they wanted to get vaccinated or not, because at the end of the day, everybody got their different reasons. But I still stand strong by what I said. I think if you want to be able to put yourself, and now they're talking about every game's going to be forfeit. So, if one guy get it, and so say for instance, one of those teams that is two teams that's under 50%. If one guy gets it, hell, who knows how many people he can spread that to? And next thing you know, you forfeited. It might have been a divisional game. That's a very meaningful game. I mean, every game in the league is meaningful, but a division game is definitely meaningful. So, I think you definitely want to put yourself in the best position possible. Not only that, you don't want to lose out on no money. You never want to give back any paychecks or any money that you feel that you earned. But I just feel like, you should I think every player should get the vaccination if you want to have an opportunity to win a championship, because at the end of the day, Matt, we all know this, the healthiest team win championships.
It's not always the best team. Yeah. It's not always the best team
win championships. So, I know a lot of guys don't see eye to eye with this, and I definitely don't see eye to eye with the fine system that they're coming away. And also, do you know any more information about this, Mac? Are they going to fine them every week, or is it a one-time fine?
I think it's you get fined for the game you miss. You don't participate.
No, I'm talking about the fine. So they just came out a new memo.
See, now that I don't know. I don't know. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
That one came out yesterday. It said every player that's not vaccinated, it will be fined $14,500.
See, so my thing is this: if you're willing to do this, right, you might as well make the vaccination a mandate. Make it mandatory. Because if you don't make it mandatory, you're going to have players that won't take it. It's the same thing about OTAs. OTAs is not a mandatory requirement. It's involuntary, to say the least. You don't have to go to OTA. So when you have an opportunity to not go, you're not required to go. You're gonna have players not show up. It happens. So when it comes to this vaccine, and I know they didn't want to force the issue, but they're indirectly forcing the issue. I'd rather you just come out and force it. Just say it. We want you guys to take the vaccine. We're making it a requirement for you guys to take the vaccine, instead of saying we're not going to force you to take the vaccine, but if I don't take it, you're going to fine me.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be blunt with it. Said we recommend everybody get the vaccination.
And one thing I will say, Pat P, just from me listening from afar, watching from afar, throughout all of these all the different news that has been coming out with this, I've heard nothing from the NFLPA. I've heard nothing from the NFLPA backing some players, because we heard players like DeAndre Hopkins talk about, how unfair it is. Other players have been extremely vocal about this and saying that, they feel like they're being forced into a situation. They feel like their freedom is being taken away from them, whatever the case may be. But the NFLPA, they're supposed to be the voice for the players. And remember, throughout the whole negotiating process, the NFLPA was doing everything in their power to try to, quote unquote, give the players the best deal, whatever the case may be. But I haven't heard anything from the NFLPA saying the NFL, they're wrong and how they're trying to handle and approach this situation. And it makes me think the players are kind of in this by themselves, because the market, the brand that's supposed to be their voice, has been quiet.
Right.
Well,
Dean, where you at, man?
I can tell you this much. I literally thought last year was a very, very difficult task to get through, but this year might be more difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
Because last year you didn't have a vaccine, so you didn't have an option. You just try to get through it and just try to cross your fingers that no one, gets an outbreak. But now you have a vaccine, so now they feel like you have an option. And if you don't take the option, you're going to be fined. You're going to forfeit ball games. You're going to have some players that might threaten to walk away. You've seen coaches already walking away.
Right.
So this year might be more difficult than what we saw last year because of the new protocols that they have in place. But this is something that we will monitor, and we definitely will stay tuned. But I can agree with you, Pat P, and I said it also. It's not always the best team that win the championship. It's the healthiest team. And now it's not about being healthy with injuries. It's about being healthy with COVID. You know what I mean? So it's going to take an all hands on deck approach for whoever it is that gets to La La Land, be able to get there and win it, because you got a lot of different things you have to worry about. Woo, listen here. This is a hot part of the show. It's time for a SKOL Check-In. It's time to check in with SKOL Nation. Man, training camp is here. Training camp is here. Time to strap up. Get your cleats together, tighten them cleats up, put your tape on your wrist, get your gloves together. It's time, Minnesota. It is time. Minnesota news, Viking news. Let's jump right into it. Got a new wide receiver. This guy used to call us hell in the Big 12. That's not that rhyme. Hell in the Big 12. I like how that sounds, man. D.D. Westbrook signs a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Keenan McCardell previously coached him with the Jaguars, so he has a familiar relationship already in place. He's coming off an ACL injury, but he should be ready for camp. I can tell you as much about Lil D.D. Number 12, the number he rocked at Jacksonville. He's a football player. He plays bigger than his size. He's a guy that will add depth, especially if he's healthy, and he's a real good short-handed catch wide receiver. So I think you can never have too many of those type players in your offense. So we have to see how this pans out. But I like this signing. This is an under the radar signing. No one is really talking about, but he can play football. When he was healthy for Jacksonville, didn't have the best quarterback structure throughout his time in Duval. But like I said, when collegiately, he gave them everything they wanted on the defensive end, did a pretty good job in Jacksonville. He signed with the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, right now, when it comes to Minnesota, we had quite a few of your teammates on the show. Everybody's excited. I know you're excited. Everybody, for the most part, is healthy. That's the most noteworthy thing to monitor, just health throughout training camp. But you guys are fired up. And get this, Pat P, you got fans back in attendance for practice. They get a chance to see you in one-on-one drills, you and Jets. Justin Jefferson, Thielen. You got 14 practices open to the fans. Minnesota fans, you heard it here. 14 practices. The first night practice is this Saturday under the lights.
The lights.
You got US Bank Stadium scrimmage the following Saturday. Pat P, how excited are you? Number one, a new team. Number two, fans will be there. I mean, just the excitement for you right now. How you feeling?
Man, Mac, I think I texted you this last night. I feel reinvented, and I'm about to reestablish myself, goddammit. I'm about to take back what's mine.
You did. Yep. What time is it?
Ass cutting time, Jack.
Yes, sir. And I can tell you this much. Training camp, it feels different this year because fans will be involved. And I tell fans this all the time. They play a very, very important part in the success. And even during training camp, when you got 10, 15,000 fans just watching you, that gives you an added pep in your step. You know what I mean? That provides a sense of energy, extra energy. And I can tell you this much because you didn't have fans last year. Man, they're going to be so fired up.
Man, no doubt.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Mac, we just got a special guest appearance.
Who we got?
Hey, baby.
Which one we got? Which one of the princesses we got?
It's my oldest. My
What's
big
up?
girl, Peyton.
Lil Peyton. What's up, Lil Peyton?
Hi.
Hi.
Say hello, all things covered.
Hello.
All things covered. All right, go back over there. Get out of the way.
Okay.
That's what we do here, man. We show love to the kids. We show love to everybody, man. Eventually, we're gonna have the dogs on here too. Pat P got dogs. I got dogs as well. Yeah, but listen, man, Pat P, I know you're excited, man. This is going to be a very, very important year for Minnesota because a lot of people are hollering not just about, you know, being significant in the division, but making a deep run. Yeah. They want a deep run in Minnesota. Hey. They want it now.
And I want it now too, Mac.
They want it now.
Hey, I'm with everybody. I think the sky's the limit for us, man. But, you know, as everybody always say, just, you know, you want to stay healthy. I believe we had a bunch of great upgrades as Zim talked to the team right before we left mini camps. We feel like we have added some great pieces to the defense, beefing up the offensive line. Great chemistry between the quarterback and receivers and tight end as well. Obviously, we got one of the best running backs in the league in Dalvin Cook. You know, I believe it's just gonna all come down to us. You know, how bad do we want it? How hungry are we? I know I'm very hungry, and I know, and being with those guys for those 2.5 months, those guys are hungry as well. So I'm extremely excited about the season. I'm extremely excited about training camp, and as we talked about a couple weeks ago, it's all about building not only the chemistry with the starting unit, but with those backup guys too, and the young guys, because at some point we're gonna need every hand in the pile, and we got some great backups. We got great role players, man. I'm juiced up, Mac. I'm juiced up, baby.
Hey, and you got that old school helmet back with that old school number. Ooh.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna keep that shut. If they try to, if the league try to suspend the helmet next year, I'm gonna be like Tom Brady, man. I might just have to pay the fine.
You can't, because you're gonna have 7 picks this year in that shirt. Yeah. So how can you go to another helmet?
Yeah, I might have to pay the fine, man.
You got to. You get 7 picks. You better rock the same thing you rock when you got them 7 picks.
No doubt about it. And I had 7 picks before. In that, actually, I had the Rydell I had the old school Rydell. Ooh.
That old school Rydell.
That Rydell is really with a heart at, dog.
There's no question. They don't even make those of them. I got mine. I don't even know how that cushion feel inside now.
Right.
Like
I know that sucker hard.
Hard. Boy, hard, man. Hard as a basketball court, cement style.
Yes,
but fans, listen, make sure you got to support the Vikings every day you can, but make sure Saturday, first night practice, under the lights, prime time.
Under the lights, baby, and I can't wait.
Yo, Pat P, not everyone out there wants to be on a strict diet. Put in 2 days at the gym and drink some of these weird beverages they have out there now. I know you're not quite there yet because you're still in the best shape of your life, but someday you'll get to that point after your playing days are over. So for those of us that are no longer pro athletes or never were in the first place, instead of trying to cram your life into someone else's ideal, try Noom. Noom uses a psychology-based approach to find a healthier balance that's moldable to your life. And as a result, it's more sustainable. That's the most consistent thing, most important thing, being able to sustain that level of exercise mentally and physically. And Moon has it for you. Like I said last week, my goal is to look like I played than to look like I never played. And I'm doing a pretty good job in looking like that because of Noom. And I can tell you this much. Sometimes you will have an off day, a bad meal day. And I can tell you from personal experiences, I love sweets. I just had a piece of red velvet cake last week and it was so good. But the unique thing about Noom, you can afford to have a bad day, a cheat day, and they will get you right back on track. And Noom got me right back on track, and my ab gains are on fire right now. They're hibachi hot. And with Noom taking care of your health, it's empowering instead of stress inducing. All you need is a daily 10-minute check-in. That's it. Just 10 minutes to check in. No crazy early mornings or huge chunks out of your day. I'm busy with my job. I have a lot of responsibilities, watching football and being a dad, but I definitely can carve out 10 minutes a day for Noom. So start building better habits for healthier, long-term results. Sign up for your trial at Noom.com/ATC today. That's NOOM.com/ATC to start your trial today. Around the NFL, like I said, training camp is here. Teams are reporting and players are being disgruntled. Report: Chandler Jones wants a trade. He requests a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. Your former teammate. Yes. Oh, we should have had a Has we should have had a Has Pat Heard. We had him.
Oh, yeah. When was this? Did he request this today?
Man, they said he requested a while back. It just became public information. But clearly you're surprised to hear this. He is in his last year of his deal. He's due $15.5 million. He wants a new contract. I think that's why he's requesting a trade. He means a lot to the organization, clearly. But Pat P, man, do you think he will get traded?
That don't mean nothing.
Oh, yeah. But do you think he gets traded? He tore his Achilles last year?
No, it was his bicep.
Bicep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay. But do you think he gets traded?
I don't think he gets traded. I don't think he gets traded. But at the same time, I won't be surprised if the right deal come up. I think he'll get traded. But that's kind of up in there. I really don't know. I don't know, Matt. I don't know. That's kind of that's kind of a tough pill to swallow because like you said, he means so much to the organization. But hell, you never know. You never know what that team gonna do.
Yeah, and you don't know what they would be asking in his return.
Hey, my thing is though, Matt. Tell me this: how is obviously this league is always about productivity, right?
Yep.
Who build football teams? Who in charge of building the football team?
The GM.
Oh, okay. All right.
GM.
And what he did lately?
Say it again.
And what did he do lately?
What did he do lately?
Yeah.
The GM for the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Shoot, he brought in JJ Watt.
No, I'm talking about the record. It's all about what you have done lately.
Oh, the draft hasn't really been good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the draft, the Cardinals draft hasn't been.
How come coaches are always on the hot seat, but
GMs are not?
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me, huh?
Ooh, that is because usually GMs and coaches are sometimes tied to the hip. So when a coach get fired, sometimes the GM get fired as well. Yeah. Ooh. Well, I can tell you this much: the Cardinals paid JJ Watt $28 million this offseason. I think that might have rubbed Chandler Jones the wrong way.
And I always think it's so weird for them to always take care of other. I mean, it's nothing wrong with taking care of other guys, but you don't take care of the guys. Come on, man.
They've been with. Since entering the league in 2012, Jones leads the NFL in sacks with 97.
Come on, man.
97.
Come on, man. Man got a sack every single game. And I told Chandler this because I've seen it time after time again. I said, Chandler, if you play your last year out, if you don't get a new deal with one, get the deal that you want going into the season, start looking for a new team player.
Would you welcome him in Minnesota?
No doubt about it. I hope we trade for him. Because I need my guy. Hey, man, I call Chan. His name is Chandrick, and we the Rocket Power Boys. He go get the quarterback, and I shut down the receiver.
You talk about you already got some guys that go get the quarterback. You add another guy who gonna get the quarterback. I think Herb said this too. You can never have enough DBs, and you can never have enough people to go get the quarterback. No question. If you got that combination, it's gonna be hell to pay.
Hey, but I'm not surprised because they always find a way to take care of the offensive guys. But I don't know why defensive guys always get looked upon the way that they do in that organization. It's just weird to me.
It is what it is. But like I said, I think they wanted to improve the defense, but you paid JJ Watt $28 million. And now Chandler Jones is coming into the last year of his deal.
Nothing with JJ. But didn't JJ just come off an injury season too?
He played a full year last year. The year before that, he had a few injury plagued years. But the thing about a bicep, it's not like a knee, it's not like an Achilles, it's not like an ankle. You fine. You know what I mean?
My thing is, you got to have most good GMs have a 5 to 10 year plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they have that there.
Well, I can tell you this much. If they lose Chandler Jones, that'd be a big loss. And
No
you said
doubt
you
about it.
welcome him in Minnesota. I know the Minnesota Viking fans would definitely
just like this
welcome
here. Just like this here, Matt. Open arms.
Another team that could use him, they got a disgruntled player. What about the Dolphins? I mean, trade a player for a player. But the thing is, if the Cardinals don't want to pay Chandler Jones, they definitely wouldn't want to pay Xavier Howard. So
they got pretty much the same contract, right?
Same contract, yes, basically the same salary, but both players want a new contract. So it all depends on who would you rather give an extension to. And Xavier Howard I think he's in year 2 of his most recent deal. So that's going to be a situation. And talking about disgruntled, cornerback Stephon Gilmore, he's disgruntled as well. And you once were in that situation when it looked at, being disgruntled to say the least, maybe could have been financially or other reasons. But what's the best way for players to handle these type situations? And I'm referring to Stephon Gilmore and Xavier Howard situation.
Man, Stephon Gilmore said it best, man. Every player should get what they're worth, no matter what it is. If you feel like you're worth and your play proves that, pay the man. Because, the league is so crazy about always wanting to get young. That's not always the right way to go.
No question.
Because when you get young players that don't have experience, you want to obviously try to save money here and there. But what is the end goal for every season? Tell me that, Matt. What is the end goal of every season? No doubt about it. So why try to? I mean, I really don't know the financial background of the cap and this, that, and the other. But why try? For me, if I was a GM, I'm spending every single dime that I can every single year.
You pay for what you get.
Exactly.
And the thing is about these GMs, you don't go to a nice steak restaurant and order the worst steak on the menu, the cheapest steak on the menu.
You want A5 and filet butterfly.
No question. you gonna order what you can pay for, what you got, and you got a salary cap, and you got ways of making sure you keep the guys in place and pay the guys what they're worth. So do it. You don't go to a outstanding Morton's or a Maestro's or
Manning,
STK
in Minnesota.
Yeah, you don't go to these places and ask for a Salisbury steak.
No. Well, no, we won't. Like I said, A5 or filet butterfly.
No question. You want that Kobe. Sometimes you might even flaunt a little bit, get that market price. I don't even know what the price is, but I know it's good. It's good. It's gonna be a good taste.
Hey, I know when I go to the steakhouse, Matt, and I see that thing say market price, I'm like, ooh, I want that because I know it's good.
You know it's good. You pay for what you get. You know what I mean? You get what you pay for, as they say. So, hey, we got to see how these two situations play out for Gilmore and Xavier Howard. But Gilmore did report it. He reported to Patriots training camp. So we have to see. It's almost time for halftime. But before we get to halftime, guess what? 7 questions. 7 questions is where we get a chance to interact with you, the listeners and the viewers. If you want your question to be answered in the future, leave a question attached to a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we may get to it on the show. Man, we got a big time question coming from a big time fan from Lil Ken _13. Pat P, as a player in the NFL, do players respect a coach who has the knowledge of the game and didn't necessarily play in the NFL or didn't necessarily make it to the NFL, but has some level of playing experience? Or do they respect a coach who has played in the NFL and has accolades at the highest level?
That's a great question, because I think it depends on how that coach coaches that didn't play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like some coaches, you can't tell players how to play certain things by the book, because when you're on the field, that book don't mean a goddamn thing.
No.
You want to be able to put your players, know your players first and foremost, and understand what they can and can't do, and help them be the best player that they can be. Put them in position to be, successful. Don't come in here talking about, as if we know a coach never played the game and be like, oh, I would have played it like this. How you would have played it like that? You never play it down.
No question.
You know what I mean? So it can go both ways because, like my boy, I love Billy Davis. Billy Davis. I don't think Billy Davis played in the league, but he was our linebackers coach at the last team I played for, and just the way he coached. You know, he was never one of the coaches that thought he knew everything. He was never one of the coaches that, you know, he was always right. What he did was he was a great film studier, and he also knew how to communicate with the players, not thinking that he was, you know, like he was in those shoes before, because that's what some coaches that go by the textbook that, you know, Ben GAs, you know, all they did was write X's and O's and think that X's and O's shit, no, they work on paper. Yeah. But at the same time, as a player on the football field, I won't say it's necessarily improvising, but you also going off reaction. So you can't be like, oh, I would have played it here. So like my thing is like, so a coach would be like, you know, if we in the coverage and they want outside leverage, and we all know sometimes we ain't gonna always have outside leverage.
No question, you might lose it.
You will lose it at some point. So I'd rather you tell me or give me a better reason on how to get in position versus you telling me, oh, I would have played it like this.
Yeah,
you never played it down at the highest.
Then you sound like a fan,
right? Like you never played it down at the highest level. I'd rather you coach me. Don't tell me what you would have done because you've never been in my shoes before.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the second part of the question, for me, I definitely have a lot of respect for guys who played in the league because they kind of know how it goes on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? So, like, let me see who I had as Deshae Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
That was my guy. My rookie year, bro. Like Deshae, he literally slowed the game down for me.
Yeah. And
coming into my second, because Deshae was with us 2 seasons. And coming into my second season, he just gave me so many nuggets. And like, so like Deshae played at the highest level. So Shea would be like, P, you know, I play it like this, or I play it like that. I'm going to take that more heat with more respect because
he did it.
He did it.
Man, in Deshae, we had a coverage for Deshae. Deshae had his own coverage in Pittsburgh. Tight drop Deshae. Because he always had that coaching method to him, right. The way he communicated. Tight drop Deshae. We either played cover 2, cover 6. It was 26. Tight drop Deshae because he wore 26 in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
But and to
same
back
with Kevin Ross. He was my DB coach when I was when he was a DB coach from 2013 to 16.
Yep.
So I think it carries more weight when guys actually play the game and can give you actual real knowledge on some game time situation stuff.
Yeah. And I can tell you this much. We have some stats to, kind of back this question a little bit. Just 18.8% of head coaches play in the NFL. You have Vrabel, Riverboat Ron, Campbell, Peyton, Kingsbury, and Rick. So 6 of 32 played in NFL. Now in baseball, Major League Baseball, 76% of Major League managers played in the pros. 70% of NHL coaches had pro careers. And that number is just below 50% in the NBA. So when you look at all the professional sports here in our country, the NFL has the least amount of former players who are current head coaches. So Frank Reich, Campbell, Peyton, Kingsbury, Vrabel, Riverboat Ron. With Washington.
Another thing, I want to get back on that GM tip because it's been on my mind.
Yeah,
I hate when the GM of that team I played for always point the finger.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't usually hear GMs pointing the fingers at certain players.
And I hate when you point the finger. Look yourself in the mirror. You built the team. And put it on yourself. That's what men do.
No question. But that's also, too, it's about saving most people that have those type of titles. Instead of doing what a leader is supposed to do, they try to save themselves. 100%. You know what I mean? Because the way you look at GMs when it comes to being successful or not successful, you look at the draft, number one. You look at draft picks, right? You got to hit on draft picks. Baby. That's supposed to be a thing. You hit on draft picks, then you hit on free agencies and free agents and things like that. and then that will warrant, the success of the team.
Right.
But if your drafts, let's say go back to 4 years ago, right? And that's a 4-year period. So your rookie contract is 4 years. Yep. Go back to the draft 4 years. If half of the majority of the players you drafted 4 years ago are no longer on the team, that's a bad draft. That's not good.
Hey,
that's not
time
good.
and time again, Jack.
That's not good. That's how it's like looking at college coaches when you finally get through a recruiting cycle, which is 4 full years, right? Yep. Now you see, all right, by their senior year, how many players are starting in that recruiting class? How many players left and went to the league? They kind of give you a sound assessment how well you did. As a GM in the NFL team, if the draft 4 years ago, half of those players are no longer here, either you cut them or you release them or you trade them.
That's a bad draft.
That's a bad draft.
Not only a bad draft, that's a horrible draft.
No question.
Especially I feel like if you get rid of any of if your first round, not only make it to those 4 years, you get rid of them after their second season?
Oh, no, not first rounder. That's not supposed to happen. That means the first round was a mishap. You dropped the ball. The thing about the draft, the first round, you got to hit to some degree. The first round, you got to hit. The second round, you need to hit.
Right.
The third round, you should hit. Right. You should hit. And everything else, it's a luxury. You know what I mean? So now when you look at that and you talk about the GM the last 5 years, we got some stats to definitely back what you're saying. 31 of 47, and that's the overall record in 2 ties. And I think that's the past 5 seasons. Definitely not a good start. So 31 of 47.
And what is the league predicated on, Matt? You please
wins.
And what have you done lately?
Yeah. The last 5, I mean, heck, that's 16 games below 500.
Last time they had a winning season is when I think we had the best head coach I've ever played for in BA. And you know what BA did though? BA had a hand in all of that stuff. What most head coaches do, especially there, like I feel like he don't have a say-so on the guys that they want to bring in.
And that's something I don't understand, because if I'm a coach and I have a certain system in place, I know the players that fit what I'm trying to do.
Exactly. I'm with
both sides of the fall. So if you're telling me this is a guy that he's a talent, but he doesn't play man-to-man well, head coach, we run a man-to-man defense.
Right.
So why are we going to bring him in here if he doesn't do what we need him to do? That's not his specialty. Everybody has a specialty as a ball player.
Everybody got a specialty, and every defense or offense require a certain specialty.
Yeah, no question. Everybody do something well, do something better than other players. It's all about, can we get him to do what we need him to do in our system more than enough to be successful? If not, let's move on to the next guy. He doesn't fit what we're trying to do. So if you're a head coach, you have a say so in the players that's coming in here, but the GM's not in the meeting rooms. The GM's not out there every day at practice, going through individual, seeing who does what well.
Right. 100%.
And great coaches that have an established resume, they have something to say about who's getting drafted and what free agents are coming in. Mm-hmm. And that's how it's supposed to be.
And quite frankly, I think, that's probably why they pick the head coaches the way they pick them over the last 2 head coaches.
Oh, so yeah, because they don't have to worry about that head coach being vocal, because he's just happy to have an opportunity.
And I feel like BA, I feel like he was forced to retire.
That's a bad move.
I feel like he was forced to retire. This guy came in there and was the winningest coach in 4 seasons.
Yeah.
In 4 seasons. Hello.
And just won a championship.
Well,
I mean, sometimes if you're a GM in a great situation, yeah. And BA's worst record was 7-8-1.
Right.
That was his worst.
I remember seeing. I know most people may not know about this, but I've seen BA pull off trades himself.
BA was 49-30 and 1 during his time there in Arizona. 19 games above 500.
Mm.
And the GM, as you mentioned, he is 16 games below 500.
Yeah.
As a GM.
Mm-hmm. I don't even want to say his name.
Well, okay. I mean, he can be looked up. Public information. Good sound information there. That's good barbershop talk, man. I hope you guys got your fade nice and tight. Got that edge nice and tight.
Man, speaking of that, I gotta say this too.
What you got?
You know what this dude did, man?
Let what'd he do?
I'm letting it out tonight. This is why I'm so kind of upset. Going through the whole process, the deal, free agency, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
We have our end of the year talk, this, that, and the other. Yeah, P, we gonna do everything we can, to get you back, blah, 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 blah. Just all bullshit.
Yeah.
And, obviously February rolls around, March rolls around, telling me, we got to wait till the new salary cap number comes out, this, that, and the other. Mind you, they signed J.J. Watt 2 weeks before free agency started. So now we know what the salary cap is. And I know when you got the numbers. So don't feed me bullshit. Like, I'd rather you
just want to be straight up.
Right. I'd rather you be straight up with me versus you putting a blindfold over my head and leave me.
At the end of the day, you're a grown man. He a grown man.
Right.
If you want to part ways, and let it be known.
Just let me know that.
Yeah. We might go a different direction. Just giving you heads up. Teams do that a lot, though. But people don't realize and understand from the outside looking in.
And I think that's the weirdest thing in the world.
No question.
No question. We're all grown men here. We're not in high school.
No.
I'd rather you come to me straight up and be like, all right, P.
But you know what, though, Pat? When someone is not straight up with you, they're afraid of the response and they don't want to handle the response. So therefore, for them,
you got the job then. That's what comes with that job.
I'm just saying, think about this. When you talk to your children, if they're not, the reason they're not straight up with you because they don't want the response. They don't think they can handle it.
Right.
It's the same thing with adults.
That job.
It's the same thing with adults.
Title.
It's about respect. You can respect someone more if they're straight up with you.
Right.
If they telling you what it is, blunt, no ifs, ands, and buts, I respect that.
Right. So going on, March coming around, I'm like, yo, great signing, this, that, and the other. Can't wait for, if we're going to make this happen, can't wait for my opportunity to come up. Didn't text me back. So I'm going on a vacation to the Bahamas, to my vacation house, Albany. Yeah. Do I have my Albany hat on today? I don't. Going out to the Bahamas and Albany, going to spend some time with the kids, family, enjoy the beach, go a little snorkeling,
Get you some conch salad.
Yeah, some conch salad, some good conch salad, and some fritters. And I hit him out like, yo, Steve, I'm about to go. I ain't even want to say the man's name. I'm like, we going on vacation, man. I just want to know, what the deal is because, I want to enjoy my time with the family. Don't have to, stress about this, that, and other. Still didn't text me back. So now that's when I got the picture. I was like, oh yeah, it's over there. It's over there. Like, and me, I'm completely fine with that. But I would rather you just tell me this in February, January, when we had our exit meetings. I'd rather you just tell me this. So boom, everything go through, hit my agent. I'm like, yeah, because my agent, me and Joe, we talking like, yo, hit him up, see if see what the feel is, this, that, and other. I'm telling my agent like, yo, it ain't like it's dead silent, Joe. Like it ain't nothing. Mm-hmm. So now, now free agency started. 2 days goes by. I got a couple teams on the rope or whatever. And like I told you, I wanted to stay there. Like, so I felt like my family was there. Like I was, I feel like I've done a lot to be able to be given that respect. You know what I mean? Only player to go in that franchise 8 straight Pro Bowls. You know what I mean? And only 3 players in the league has done that. Me, Jim Brown, and Barry Sanders. Ooh. And when I got, so now I signed with my new team, Minnesota. Yeah. Guess who called and texted me?
Not the old GM.
You thought I picked it up?
He called and texted you, but he wasn't answering none of your calls. And that's the thing. People don't understand. You had a personal relation. You had his cell number. Most players don't have the cell number to the GM. So clearly you guys had some type of communication. The transparency was once there. But when it was time to talk business, he was treating you like that girl you don't want to talk to no more.
Exactly. And not only that, my wife can vouch for this. Or you need me to come, help somebody recruit? I'll be there. Literally, drop everything with my family. I'm coming to dinner. Yeah, I'm all about.
Yeah, I remember when you guys were trying to get Kirk Cousins. I'm
all about the team. Like, if y'all need me to, I'm there. I'm all about the team because I want to fucking win. And for him to do that, I lost all respect for him, man.
That's why you feel how you feel.
I'm telling you, Mac, I lost all respect for him, yo. It's not even close, man. Like I put on both of my girls. That was the ultimate disrespect right there.
You just wanted him to be straight up. Hey, man, we might go a different direction.
Tell me, just be real with me. Because when I come, so for me, I'm a straightforward guy. If I have a bad game, I know I had a bad game. I gotta fix it.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be like, that was on me. I gotta fix it. Come to them, talk to him, this, that, and the other. That was on me. But for him to pull that crap, that was so bogus, yo.
I can tell you this much.
That was bogus, man.
You gonna see him week 2. Is it week 2?
Yeah. He might see me. I ain't gonna see him.
Yeah, well, he gonna see you week 2.
He might see me, but I ain't gonna see him.
He gonna see you. And the thing what people have to understand, fans, they take it personal. It's almost like they feel like you slighting them. No, it's nothing against the fans. It has nothing to do with the fans.
Nothing.
The fans you rock with the fans. You know what I mean?
And I've been holding that in for a long time, but I feel like I had to let that. I couldn't hold it in no more.
This is what we're doing. This is your platform to let it out.
It is. But I couldn't hold that in no more, man.
Yeah. Get it off your chest so you can go in training camp feeling good, feeling motivated, and fired up. And let them know they should have kept the original 21 out there.
Hey, how my boy say, my boy Migos, you played yourself.
No question. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening.
Yes, sir.
That's all it is, just a little bit of straightening. You got some straightening going on here tonight.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Migos. You just got some straightening going on here tonight, but the barbershop was on fire.
The barbershop is open, baby.
No question. What time it is, though, Pat P?
Ass cutting time, Jack.
You let them know that too. We ain't gonna say his name. We gonna bleep the name out. Yeah, it's woo. Hey, but that's the side of the game that's within the game fans don't know about.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure fans go through certain things in their 9 to 5s that it's relatable to what you just said. It's about being transparent. It'd be one thing if you didn't have that relationship with him, like you guys didn't talk on the cell phone here or there, but you guys had a relationship. And when it came time to talk about business, you know what I mean? Wayne said it best, compensation over conversation. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to figure out what we doing. Right. Am I in the future plans
or not?
If you're not quite sure yet, if you don't know, let me know. We don't know quite ready. We want to, but certain things got to go in place. We might have to do X. We might have to go sign this person first to sign this position first. He treated you like that girl, like you didn't want to talk to no more.
Man, it was crazy, man. That's why one of my favorite songs is that J. Cole, man. That boy say, that's why sometimes you got to come through and just do it at a level that you do it at in front of everybody's face. And let them know the difference between you and them other fools.
Boy.
Yeah, Mac.
Hey, that's why you just gotta do it how you gotta do it. How you gotta just do it how you gotta do it.
Said, the boy J. Cole say that's why sometimes you gotta come through and just do it at a level that you do it at in front of everybody's face.
Hey, well, I can tell you this much. He better get himself together because that overall record, 31-47-2, ain't cutting it. And this is supposed to be a big year out there for them. So, hey, but you know what? He get a chance to see you week 2.
Yeah.
In that number 7.
Yep. Reinvented and reestablished P2.
Hey, say no more. I can tell you this much. Ha! That's a heck of a first half.
No doubt about it.
Boy, that's a heck of a first half. I know it's halftime for us. Ain't too much we got to do when it comes to making adjusting because we taking care of business right now.
Yeah, hey, we up 27 right now.
We up heavy right now. Everybody gonna get a chance to play in this ball game, get some hot tape.